This is a read of Written in Bone, Buried Lives in Jamestown by Sally Walker. Chapter 6, The Luxury of Lead, Part 1. We have a picture on page 69. It says, Cecile Calvert, above, never set foot in Maryland, but as Lord Baltimore, he used his influence to protect and guide the colony. St. Mary's City became the hub of the colony. More than 300 years later, archaeologists below prepared to excavate a broad field where the city's chapel once stood. Okay, the text says, a very different burial, also found in Maryland, has helped archaeologists decipher the story of a colonial family whose lives bore little resemblance to that of the boy found in the Levy Neck basement. This grave, excavated beneath the foundation of a chapel in St. Mary's City, turned out to be among colonial America's most unique resting places. As archaeologist Henry Miller explained, the chapel, a solid brick structure dedicated to Catholic worship, could not have been built anywhere else in the English-speaking world during colonial times. As the director of research at Historic St. Mary's City, a recreation of a colonial settlement, Miller has spent years studying the unusual place Maryland holds in the religious history of the United States. Modern Americans know the United States as a nation of religious freedom. The Constitution protects the right of every individual to practice religion according to personal choice, not law. Centuries ago, however, the first English settlements in America did not allow this freedom, nor did England itself. By law, a branch of Christianity called the Church of England, also known as the Anglican Church, was the nation's official religion. Accordingly, most people belonged to the church. Some, however, followed other religions, such as Roman Catholicism. Because the law forbade these religions, their followers often had to worship in secret to avoid being harassed, imprisoned, or even killed. It was against the law to build a Roman Catholic church in England or its colonies. The colony of Maryland was founded in 1634 by a man who was determined to create a safe haven for English Catholics. Cecile Calvert, also known as Lord Baltimore, received a charter from King Charles I to establish a colony on land purchased from the Yacomaco people. The new colony was named in honor of Queen Henrietta Maria, the Catholic wife of Charles I. Calvert, also a Catholic, advocated a principle called liberty of conscience, which permitted religious freedom for all Christians, though not all followers of other faiths. The colony's charter gave Calvert the authority to make liberty of conscience the official policy of Maryland, even though England did not allow this freedom. This permissive environment made Maryland unique in colonial times. As such, it attracted settlers of many Christian faiths, including Catholics. Among them was a group of priests who built a brick chapel in St. Mary's City in about 1667. The chapel served as a house of worship for many years, but in 1689, a revolution in the colony removed the Calvert family from power and ended religious freedom in Maryland. The government center was moved away from Maryland City, and in 1695, Providence, later renamed Annapolis, became the colony's new capital. In 1704, by government order, the chapel doors were locked forever. Later, Catholic priests dismantled its walls and carted the bricks away to be used elsewhere. Only the chapel's sturdy brick foundation, which lay beneath the surface of the ground, remained. Slowly, as years passed, more soil accumulated over the chapel's foundation. Farmers planted tobacco, corn, and beans in the soil. Eventually, all traces of the Foundation were hidden from sight. In fact, almost all traces of St. Mary's City disappeared as well. The surface of the ground gave no hint that anyone had ever lived there, nor did the historic record offer many helpful clues to Henry Miller and his team of scientists when they began their work during the early 1980s. There are no historical documents of the city, no maps, no good written descriptions, Miller explained. We had to rely on archaeology. Fortunately, careful scientific investigation proved to be enough. Miller, chief archaeologist Tim Riordan, and many scientists who have worked with them since excavations began have found thousands of artifacts and the foundations of many settlement buildings, including the brick chapel. They also found a large cemetery that surrounded the chapel's foundation. Their discoveries have revealed many details of 17th century colonial daily life and death. Well, one of their finds was as unique as the Maryland colony itself.